repeat, this is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. Danerade is making another editor commentary. So, hi guys. This is Danerade here. If you're listening to this, I assume you have some idea of who I am. So about 2 years ago, I made an editor commentary where I went over certain videos and the production behind them. Usually talked about just a lot of hard stuff and producing videos. I meant to do one last year. I didn't. I honestly don't know why. And this year, I'm gonna make up for it by covering videos in mid to late 2021 and all of 2022. We got a lot of videos to go over. I'd also like to give a quick shout out to Derpyroot, who has done the art for, if you happen to be watching this video. The last editor commentary, I kind of did something similar to this with, Bowser in the podcast style. We got a couple of Easter eggs in there. This time we got way more Easter eggs, and I'm super happy how it came out. It's a very fun piece of art, and honestly, in the comments, try to figure out all the Easter eggs. Maybe I'll pin the one that can find them all. I guarantee you will not there's a couple that won't immediately come, you can't just scan it once and find it. You're gonna be constantly looking at it, and obviously some of them are some niche references to videos, but so thanks Derpyroot for that. I hope you guys like the art, and anyways, all right, we'll jump into this editor commentary now. All right, now the first video we're gonna talk about, and this was a video I released so long ago. Please don't touch anything is mind-bending fun. This is an interesting video for a lot of different reasons. For one, it's the only video I have done on a VR game. And that had its own challenges. So I have an Oculus Quest 2, which obviously, the whole selling point is that it's wireless, and recording wireless footage on that is not easy. There's a way to do it within Oculus, but it's kind of just the square. It'll record one eye. I wanted the full 16:9 aspect ratio. So it's kind of weird. I came up with a way. It's called, is it Air Receiver? I don't know. I think it's on the Microsoft store. It's basically you just connect your device to your computer. It's screen sharing basically, but it works with Bluetooth devices. So it worked with the Oculus. It's a couple bucks, and I guess it's an effective way to record mobile game footage. I think I've done it. Have I done that once or twice with that? I don't know. I've used it a couple other times. The footage looks a little jaggy, which I mean it's kind of probably just the Quest itself and how I was recording it, but I think it was a good way to figure it out. I also this video. I don't know. This video is just kind of weird because it's on a very niche game, and obviously it's VR, and VR on YouTube is just kind of its own little niche circle, and I was just trying to intrude on it, which I kind of alluded to in the video, but I'm just gonna do whatever I want, man. The intro, dude, this video just has so many weird things. The intro to this video is also weird because it's really short. And the reason it's short is because the video before this was the Nintendo Land video, which we will not be talking about. If you want to hear me talk about that, go watch last year's editor commentary. Anyways, but that intro was super long. As a reminder, it was the kind of orchestral music, with footage and it's about probably 50 seconds or something. Anyways, I was at a little gathering. I was talking to an adult, and they were telling me, "Oh, I really like your videos," and they gave me the suggestion to shorten the intros because for people who want to jump in the action, that it could be a little they just want to watch the video. And for new people, it's oh, this is super cool. But I don't know. So his criticism could be valid. I don't know. So I tried toning it down for this video, but I don't know. I mean, I think the unique intro is just it's a fun thing that I don't want to say is unique to me, but because of the thing with a lot of other YouTubers is that like their intros are like, even if it's different, it might be like a little formulaic, so it might be like a punchline or something. Mine, I can kind of do like maybe a punchline, maybe I do some like cinematic thing. I get to mix it up. Like honestly, like making the intro is one of the most like creatively fun processes I get to go through, just because it's like, all right, what am I gonna do today? Like sometimes it's super random. Like I know I'm jumping ahead a bit, but like the Where's My Water video, I was like, let's bring back the plushies. I thought that was great. So anyways, this video's intro was a bit shorter. The actual video itself was hell to make, because the whole like premise of the game is that it's in one room, and like, you know, I try to like make the editing and the footage interesting, but that's kind of hard with one room, so I like purposely try to like exaggerate my movements within the game. Not like anything was like fake, obviously, but just so that the actual recorded footage looked nice, and you know, it looked somewhat fun to look at. So there was that. All right, Discord plugin. This is like my favorite Discord plugin, dude. This video is like, there's a lot of weird things, but this Discord plugin is awesome. So as a reminder, I say, so you know, this game has a lot of codes and stuff, and I say, hey, if you type in 2319 on the keypad, and like a fun animation plays. Now 2319 is obviously a reference to Monsters Inc. But which that should have been like a dead giveaway. But it was like, oh, yeah, 2319, like maybe the game's referring to Monsters Inc. And then like on the computer screen, it has like the Discord plugin transition. Dude, like that was the smoothest, most troll way to do the Discord plugin. I am so proud of that. That was also a pain to make because of like having it like, you know, in a nutshell, you have to keyframe, if you know what that means, but keyframe it to where the intro, like the little Paper Mario Origami King transition, like fits with the screen. Like, you know, you gotta move it around a lot, make sure it fits and stuff. So that was pain, but that was great. I like that is I like go back to this video just to rewatch that. I was like, how did I execute that? Like, I can't believe I actually did that. So that was great. And overall, I mean, even though this video, like, you know, is a niche game, is a niche topic, I'm still happy I made it. Like, obviously with the things I've been describing, this is kind of like one of those weird videos with a lot of different weird things in it. But, you know, sometimes you need those videos to exist so that you can learn and you have stuff to go off of. But that's about it. I don't have much else to say on Please Don't Touch Anything is Mind-Bending Fun. All right, next video is Wii Tanks was bomb. Now, this video is like kind of weird because it did like okay at first, but then like randomly the algorithm like picked up this video. Literally for about like 2 to 3 days, it just got like 120k views. I don't know, it was so weird. So this video, I guess ended up doing well. Wii Tanks was interesting as like a childhood thing because I had a friend who had Wii Play, and that's all we played. We just played Wii Tanks, and like he and his dad was like super competitive about it. Like they tried to get so far, and all that stuff. So Wii Tanks definitely has a place in my childhood, and you know, there's that. So I wanted to make a video about it, and I mean, I'm happy I did. Like it was, I know like a couple other people, like Psylocke Hawk has made a Wii Tanks video, and obviously people have covered like Wii Play, which has Wii Tanks. But I don't know. I mean, I give it my own little jazz, little spin. Only thing that's weird, and that's something I've kind of noticed going back to a lot of these videos, the audio is cut so fast. Oh my god, like I know I kind of like still cut up my audio pretty fast, but I swear, like I just gave like no natural pauses or breaths in here. It's like so, oh my, like so I feel like that my editing style has, I mean, I think it gets better by a lot every year. Maybe I'm just like nitpicking at myself, but it's subtle things like that that make the overall experience a lot better. So there's that. Also, same thing with the last video. Hard to make the footage interesting because, I mean, you have like the different levels obviously and the different tank combinations, but like the I mean, it's like the same area though. Like you're in the little box with the wood like toy blocks and stuff. With the, I don't want to say isometric, you know, like the slanted camera perspective and stuff like that. So there's that. Again, not a whole lot to say on this video. A lot of these older videos, it's just been so long that like I don't remember like every little. I just remember this video being hard to edit, just to make it look fun. And obviously like talking about Wii Tanks for such a long amount of time. Other things to mention. Oh, I remember in the comment section. Oh my God, we had people that were super eager to tell me that Danerade, there was actually 100 levels, not 20. It just, guys, if guys, I explained that in the video. I act like there's just 20 levels. There's literally like a fake out, and then I go, oh, by the way, there's actually 80 more levels. Like, just watch the video. That was fun. Thanks, guys, if you commented that. The only other thing to point out is the intro and outro were like referencing like Scott DeWaz's intro and outro when he did his We Play video. Honestly, don't know why. Now, editing wise, there's actually like a certain level of like technical, like somewhat impressive because as a reminder, the intro has like Scott like calling or whatever, and then the guy on the other side says something. So in this video, like I was the guy on the other side, but I edited it. That's like, by the way, fun fact, it's like my least favorite like groups of words is edited and it together. So if you say it really fast, it's like edited it. Yeah, exactly. I'm ranting. That's gonna happen a lot this podcast or editor commentary. Anyways, but for the intro, I had it where the music, I think it was Mario 3 music, which, okay, Scott. I had it like overlaid at the same time, so when I talked, like it was like a seamless transition. Does that make sense? Because obviously I had to cut like the part in his video to put me over it, but I had to make sure the music lined up. Yeah, it makes sense in my mind. I'm sure it makes sense. So that's Wii Tanks was bomb. Again, not a lot to say. A good video. I mean, I think definitely one of my like favorite video topics to talk about. Just because again, Wii Tanks has a good place in my childhood. All right, hello neighbor. Worse than I thought. Okay, this video is like not bad at all. I'm happy. So by the way, this video got more popular than the PvZ 3 video. It is my most viewed video, and I'm very happy about that because the PvZ 3 video is very bad. Do not watch it. That is a challenge. Do not do that. At the time of recording this video has 2.4 million views, which is crazy, by the way. I like want to emphasize that, like, oh my gosh, like that many people listen to me in one video. Anyway, so there's definitely stuff to talk about for this video, so strap in. All right, so fun fact, the intro was going to be different. It was going to use different music, and then I was afraid, I won't say what it is. I think it was made by like a somewhat independent creator. I basically didn't want to like, I didn't know if I had permission to use it, and I was just like worried about that. You know, I want to respect the, you know, your aspiring musicians or composers and stuff, and I don't know, I just didn't want to step on that territory. So the intro is like a little like whatever, like I don't know. I mean, I guess it probably helped with the retention rate because it was pretty short and to the point. I reused the intro. I don't know what other video was it. No, it wasn't the BFN video. With the pixelated Bowser. I don't know. I know Mando made it. Thank you, Mando. You're great at what you do. But I reused that for this intro, and yeah, I mean it was okay. Anyways, on to like the base video itself. Boy, did I make this video at like the perfect time, because remember, like, I mean, Hello Neighbor was like dead at this point. I mean, they had like the whole like, it was like Hello Guest, Hello Neighbor 2. I think like Hello Neighbor 2 was was kind of, I don't know. Hello Neighbor was at like a dry point basically, and it was kind of like, I'm not saying this video like inspired others, but like this video was kind of at the same time that other people began to make like, what happened to Hello Neighbor? I mean, that's not really my video, it's more of like a retrospective, but so people started being like, oh yeah, like Hello Neighbor was a thing. So this video definitely like capitalized. Still though, even though like Hello Neighbor's like kind of dead, I'm still surprised like how well it did. I mean, obviously it picked up like plenty of traction after, the video. It just kind of consistently did well. Still, like this video got like, I don't know, like 900k views in maybe like a week. I don't know. That's great. Like it just shot up so fast. So there was that. I just kind of made it I don't know. Sometimes people, YouTubers, including me, just make the right videos at the right time. The footage was a bit of like a controversial thing because, okay, so I played it on Game Pass, which I thought since I had Game Pass PC, I would be downloading the PC version of it, but like, no, maybe, like, probably not, like, I don't know, people were saying that's not true, that it downloads still the Xbox version that you can play on your PC, which, by the way, if that's true, Microsoft, that is super dumb. Like, that is so complicated for no reason. But there's that. So, I mean, they're like, oh, the graphics are, you can't complain about the graphics because you're not playing it on the best console for the graphics, which, by the way, is still kind of a dumb point because, like, this game is, like, not graphically demanding. Like, this is not like a PS5 and Switch kind of thing where, like, oh, the Switch looks worse because it's less powerful. Like, this game is not crazy demanding on the hardware or anything. It's just a lazy port job. I have replayed it on PC because I will be making a Hello Neighbor 2 video. Oh, big spoiler, by the way. Yep. Anyway, so I played it on Steam, and by my memory of me just recently playing it, it looks better. So like, yeah, it looks better than when I initially played it. But I mean, stuff still stands. I mean, I know that I spent like half a year like fixing the game, but it's still buggy. It's still bad. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, a lot of kids got mad at me. There was like children. I know like Hello Neighbor is, like all these indie horrors are very, child focused, especially with that new game Garten of Banban, which is really stupid, by the way. Though Bendy did get a sequel and it looks pretty good. We'll never make a Bendy video, by the way. Sorry. But yeah, the kids got mad at me. Some of them, there's some iconic comments like, Hello Neighbor is the best game ever, and I love it, even though I probably had to look up a walkthrough to complete it, or I just watched it on YouTube. That's fun. I also got criticized for box stacking. Okay, that's half fair. Act 1, I definitely shouldn't have box stacked. I mean, Act 1 is still kind of but it's like okay. Like, it's fine. Like, honestly, if the game was just Act 1, I mean, it'd still not be that great, but it'd be like okay. I mean, the problem is that there are like some sections, like even in Act 1, there's like that little like window or panel. Okay, I gotta explain this. I'm sorry. Okay, behind the house, there's like a little opening where you can see an item. I think it's a wrench that you need, but to see that you have to you still have to stack boxes. So like there's still some box stacking, and in some of the alphas, I can vividly remember. I think it was Alpha 3, the one that was pitch dark. You had to like get into, like the roof had like an opening in it, but because of like the awful physics, like you had to like box stack, but it was so janky. I would know because I played all the, God, it's so bad. There's that. Okay, Discord plugin, super underrated, dude. This Discord plugin is not as good as the, what is it? Please don't touch anything Discord plugin, but this one's still pretty good. As a reminder, it is actually a House of Mouse reference, which I've referenced the House of Mouse 3 times. The first time was the Scott Cawthon video with like the lore scene before I freaking. We're gonna talk about that. Before I killed that. This is the second time. Basically, it's like the Discord plugin, and then it kind of like starts getting interrupted. And in an original, in like in a House of Mouse episode, there was like these censor monkeys that would like censor the cartoons, which was a really kind of funny like meta commentary on how like, dude, House of Mouse writing is so underrated, honestly. It was like a meta commentary on how, kind of like, you know, you have like the Tom and Jerry's and the Bugs Bunnies in the 40s, and now like well, when did House of Mouse come out? 2000s. By the 2000s, you know, 60 years later, it was just everything had to be much more censored to be kid friendly and all that stuff. Anyway, so like in the video, it was like, because I think I showed in the Discord stuff like people being like feisty or mad at each other, and the censor monkey is like, whoa, what's going on here? I thought that was funny. A little long, but I don't know. It just made it funny, because then afterwards, it's like people going like, "Hi, hello, you know, are you having a good day?" Yes, you know, something funny like that. Actually, another fun story with this video. I showed this to my English class. Yep, that's right. Shout out to all you in freshman year English. I made a deal with my teacher that we could show a Danerade video the day before finals. Because, okay, get this, English class. She's like, we can either do the study guide or watch Danerade. Which, like, why would you study for English? Like, you just read passages. So stupid. We watched Danerade. Oh, yeah. I don't know. It was kind of funny. It was kind of funny, I guess. Shout out to her for letting us do that. I mean, that's like the Chad teacher moment right there. But so that's fun, and we even like referenced that, like, remember when? I'm trying to do that sometime this year. I didn't do it my sophomore year. There's just like no class that really like fit that bill, but I've got a couple of teachers that I think would be willing to show, especially like AP classes. If you don't live in the States, like AP, you take like, you know, it's like a big kind of standardized test that like encompasses all you've learned throughout the year. AP tests kind of are like taken in the place of finals. They happen usually early May, but that means you have like 3 weeks of the school year where like you don't really do anything, because like you already like, you know, you learned everything for the AP test. Anyways, I'm gonna figure that out. But in a nutshell, Hello Neighbor still sucks. It's a bad game. It's glitchy. It's buggy. It is not fun. I mean, dude, like the actual gameplay loop like is so bad. The puzzles are so convoluted. They don't make any logical sense. It is awful. I'm not gonna really like repeat myself. I just want to give a little reminder. But yeah, that was Hello Neighbor. All right, next up we have some of the best and worst licensed kids games. I'm gonna call this round 1 because I made a sequel video. All right, this video was interesting for a lot of reasons. Number 1, I got sick while making this. There's a lot of things. Okay, so Hello Neighbor comes out. I have finals. And then I do the charity stream, which is great, by the way. I'm not gonna like talk about that specifically, but well, I might talk about that later. But that was great. And then I was like making this, and then I got sick, and then, you know, it's just like I want to do my body justice and not work while I was sick and be a workaholic. And then obviously like playing 5 games, like that's. You know, I didn't really like play through all. Yeah, that was the oopsie. Anyway, so I had to play 5 games, which is kind of a lot. Because I think this is the first time I did multiple games. I might be wrong on that, but anyway, so there's that. Second thing, thanks Viacom. Anyways, if you don't know, the intro, intro. This is like a 10 out of 10 intro, by the way. It has a remix of the Fairly Odd Parents intro. You know, is like Danerade's an average kid that no one understands. You know, I like replace like words with like YouTuber stuff, and all that jazz. But anyway, so Viacom blocked the video, which was really stupid. Even though I like edited the footage and the audio, and then it was annoying because I fought it. You know, you can like send in an appeal. I literally thought they weren't gonna like do anything about it, because like why would they? But then, you know, I was like, okay, they're probably not gonna like appeal it. So I'll just upload it by editing it slightly. What I did is I added like a little CRT filter, which, I mean, it worked, I guess. Like, some people say, oh, it added like a little bit of flair to it. I don't know. It was like whatever. Anyways, so that like I still like was curious what Viacom was gonna do. So then like 6 hours after the video gets uploaded, they actually like take away their block on the video, and they're like, oh yeah, oops, like that's definitely your own thing. And I was like, really? So they actually like could have let me uploaded it, which is a big shame. Still, I actually still got demonetized because the intro with Aladdin. Basically, it was a transition from a friend like me from Aladdin to the Fairly Odd Parents intro, which I will not take credit to that. I saw it, I don't know where I saw it. It was some YouTube video, which I think reposted it from like Instagram or TikTok, I don't know. And then there was like a news article, not by like a major publication, but I like saw that and I was like, I'll recreate that. So not really my idea. I just thought it was cool. And I like Aladdin, so it was fun. But all right, intro was cool. That was, I mean, I still love that intro. It's fun. It was such a pain to edit though. I mean, all the different images, you gotta like, you know, pan them over on the characters and stuff. That was not fun. But there's that. Funnily enough, the thumbnail was pretty bad. So this video actually did pretty well. I don't know if it's because it was like riding off the coattails of the Hello Neighbor video, which doesn't really make a lot of sense because there was like a 1 month, it's a pretty big upload gap. I say big, even though 2022 I uploaded like once a month, but there's a sizable upload gap. So like, I don't know if it was riding off the coattails. Anyways, the thumbnail was really bad. I'll show it on screen, or if I haven't already. But it's pretty bad, which is kind of funny. But this video, I mean, it was fine. I think this is a really fun topic. Like, it definitely warrants a sequel, which I made, which I just mentioned earlier. You know, this is a fun video topic to make. There's a lot of creative possibilities with it. I mean, I can make 20 of these videos, except the second one didn't do that well. We'll talk about that later. But there was also, sorry if you hear an airplane right now. There was also like a weird, all right, sometimes I do this. Sometimes I like to tease other videos that are coming up, except they're in the most weird and convoluted and like super subtle way that literally nobody would notice except me. And I did that in this video. Okay, there's a part where I mentioned Shy Guy Mask, and like when I show his, Shy Guy Mask is another YouTuber, by the way. If you don't know who Shy Guy Mask is and you're watching this channel, you need to catch up on some Danerade lore. Not the actual Danerade lore that died. No, not that one. Anyways, but, so I like showed Shy Guy Mask, you know, like the little S logo he has. So the next video after this, which we're going to talk about in a second, is the Plants vs. Zombies vs. Mode video, which was fun. So I had art done of all of the characters, or people participating, including Shy Guy Mask, which was really funny because it's just like a nicely colored version of his S. Anyways, I wanted to like show that off. So for like, I don't know, 5 or 6 frames of like the logo, I like had that there, and I like kind of smoothly transitioned it. I don't know, it was stupid. Like I don't even know why I did that. I just thought I just want to do that. Honestly, the art for everyone that participated, like that was so fun to commission. That was so like all that stuff. We're gonna get to that. It all turned out great. But the only other funny thing about this video is I think it was the Ratatouille part. I made a joke about I like smashed the disc with the hammer. I don't remember the context. I smashed a disc with a hammer, and what was funny is that I played the non-modern games through emulation. I know, kill me. I'm the same guy that's like, I don't know if I like emulation or not. It's convenient, blah, blah, blah. I will not go into that debate because I do not want to make a video on that debate. Anyways, but it was kind of funny because I didn't play the Ratatouille game on the disc, especially since at the time I had an Elgato, but I guess I could have just ordered like a composite video adapter. Anyways, but like it was just kind of funny because like I bought the disc, but I only used the disc to smash it. Oh yeah. All right, that's some of the best and worst licensed kids games video. All right, the next video. By the way, I hope I'm not like, I hope you don't think I'm going too fast. We just got a lot of videos to go over. I kind of just want to go over like the highlights and stuff that's like meaningful to talk about. This one we're gonna talk about for a while though. The explaining the great Plants vs Zombies vs Mode Tournament. This video sucked ass to make. I'm sorry, this was so hard. I'll tell you why. Time crunch. I got it out, I think, pretty soon after the licensed kids games video, I think. Anyways, so this was a huge project. I edited the 45 minutes in 4 days. 4 days. Now, honestly, to this day, I have no idea how I did that. Now, obviously, I was on summer break, but even then, like, here's what I do. I would wake up, I would work, eat, work out. Working out actually was like the magic sauce because like I work out at 4 p.m. and by like 4 p.m. I was like super like mentally exhausted. I work out and then my like I get it off my mind, like I give like get a little refresh. And then I work more, dude. I don't know how I did this. Anyways, let's kind of start in the beginning of the video. The intro is so fun. It's so great. It was animated. I found my current present day animator. Well, Drake, Sherbet Knight. I think Sherbet Knight is like their username and all that stuff. I credited them as Drake, but they're the same person. They did a fantastic job. On this. I wanted some like 2D animation. They just heard my vision and they just executed it, and it was super fun to do that. So the animation was great. I mean, the event itself was, I know for some context, the event was actually back in January of 2021 where I live streamed part of it. It was fun, but like not fun to do. I don't know. It was just like, it was very chaotic. We had very limited time, which in retrospect doesn't like make a lot of sense because like why do we need to get it done within like a certain period of time? I don't know. But it was just, and obviously like I'm in school and I kind of explained this in the video, but I would like stay up really late, literally practicing because I wanted to win. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this video, I don't win the tournament. And all that stuff, but so there's that, and but it was fun. Like I'm happy we did this. This was a fun project, but there's that. Yeah, but overall, this video super hard to make. Again, this has kind of been like a running theme, but like especially for this video, like this is the best example. Really hard to make the footage interesting because it's literally like the same the whole time. So there's a lot of different like crazy fun animation type stuff of using different images and all that jazz. There's that. There was I'm kind of roughly going in chronological order. When I was explaining everyone and kind of their background. Okay, so like the Shy Guy Mask part, I was like, he lives in Canada and he lives in Quebec, and that is hard because French. Dude, I just wanted an excuse to like explain that and like flex my Canadian political knowledge. I mean, it's so unnecessary. Like, it doesn't need to be there. No, but I still wanted to. Anyways, also, I'd like to give my formal apology to Bulba because I only described Super, who was another one of the contestants, as the only Twitch streamer. Bulba actually speed runs the games. I think he mostly did the mini game or like iZombie. I think iZombie he mostly did. So my bad, Bulba. So there's that. A funny thing that came out of this video is people like, I'm really happy I had a part of the video like explaining like certain pros and cons of plants, because like people will be like, oh well I know versus mode. No, you don't know versus mode. It was really funny getting some comments like, why is this plant or why is this zombie bad? Like I literally said I couldn't go over every, but even like some of the plants and zombies I explained, they're like, no, which I mean, it's fine to have your own opinion, okay? Like, bro, it's Plants for, like the fact that we're talking about a meta and Plants vs Zombies versus mode, like just calm down, bro, okay? So there's that. That was a fun section though, like explaining. Though, like fetching for the footage was not fun because sometimes I would explain like, I don't know, like Pogo and Wise Code. I gotta like search for the footage, like search for the part where like Pogo was super clutched like 3 times, and like I have like probably 8 hours of PvZ versus mode footage, so I just gotta. Oh, it's so fun. There's that. Yeah, it was just fun to explain. Like that was, you know, this video, like even though it was not that fun to make, and obviously scripting, like I had to make sure I had a good pace and I wasn't getting too technical, even though most people watching the video were probably like somewhat, maybe not diehard, but PvZ experts, you know what I mean, all that stuff. Now, why did I lose the tournament, you might be asking? That's a really good question. Honestly, I think live streaming was a big issue. Was a big problem, or I shouldn't have done it. It's just too much stress, man. Like I do not consider myself a person that like is super stressed out. Like I do a lot of things, and like it can be stressful to juggle all the different like responsibilities I have. That's literally everyone's life, by the way. Like everyone has responsibilities that they have to do outside of like YouTube, for example. But, you know, especially like still being in school and doing other things unrelated to YouTube. I know, guys, I do not live in my mother's basement. I do not have a basement. But anyways, that live stream, I would like both live streams. The first one where I won the first 2 rounds, and that one where I obviously lost. I just so stressed out. Like it was a mix between the chat and obviously trying to perform live under pressure. I don't know. I if I really wanted to win, I probably shouldn't have done it. But I mean, it was still fun. It was a nice way to be able to share the experience with others, if that makes sense. But another highlight of the video was right before the Shy Guy Mask, you know, introducing how those games went, where I had an epic montage featuring music from Alan Riddick. Oh shoot, did I say that right? I hope. Just Alan. Alan is a fantastic musician. You know, he specializes in like guitar and rock. Basically, he did like the rock stuff for like Scott the Woz and a few other people. So I contacted him, and he did a great job. He did the, you know, rock version of Cackleta's battle theme, which is, or it's called Cackleta's Showdown. Is that you know how songs have like, you know, like technically have names behind them? I think that's what it's called, something like that. So he did the rock version of that. Super fun to coordinate with him on that. I actually have some early versions of the song still on my computer, but I think the final version is great. It fit the theme. The montage almost like freaking crashed my computer because it was so like editing intensive, like all the different transitions and blur effects, and that was fun. Again, 4 days to edit all that. There's that. But that was super fun. I'm happy I did that. I got a lot of compliments on that, and that's a personal highlight of mine to be able to go back on. And really the final thing to talk about with the video, just because I want to hit the high points, is that I won every single round of rock, paper, scissors when we did it, and that's pretty cool. All right, next video is the Bowser's Fury. I did a little funny thing in the title. Bowser's Fury, I was wrong. This video is actually the first video to have art done for the thumbnail, not done by the current artist who does all the thumbnails, Derpyroot, done by Feely Nova, who did a lot of my art early on. I sadly cannot work with them. They have some personal things that inhibits present day, inhibits them from being available to work on as many art projects, which is a huge shame, by the way. I love their art. I also love Derpyroot's art, so it's all good. But I definitely like having multiple main artists so they can work on different projects if need be. But they did the art for the video or for the thumbnail. I thought it'd be a fun idea. At first I wanted I don't know, maybe I should have been more specific on what I wanted, but because the title was, Bowser's furry. Funny. But I wanted Bowser to look very super cat-like, almost like the end of 3D World, actually. The final thumbnail ended up looking a lot kind of cutesier, which is just fine. I guess. I wish, I don't know, I should have specified more, we should lean in more on the cat appearance, but it's fine. So there's that. This is a great video to kind of explain some behind-the-scenes thought process. This is what I like to call a standard Danerade video. It's nothing crazy, doesn't do too much, all right? I mean, there's a couple cool effects or whatever I made. I made the book, made a fake book cover. It was Ask Danerade Anything or something like that. But other than that, this is a standard Danerade video, which, sometimes you just need some of those. Sometimes you just need a classic Danerade video. And this fit the bill. And I think this fit the bill great because Bowser's Fury had, I don't know, what it came out, February, and this was must have been August or September, probably August. So it was fun to do that. This is kind of the time when you're starting to see the more modern humor in editing. I think I was starting to refine, and even then, I'm sure when I do this next year, I'll be looking back at the first video I made in 2023, what the heck? Or not, I don't know, I'm curious to see how my style will evolve, but, yeah, it definitely looks a lot more, halfway through of 2021, it looks a lot more what it's looking like now. Not quite there, but it's getting there. But overall, I like this game. This game is fun. This game is good. Honestly, when I make videos, sometimes the videos or sometimes the games I make are, oh my Christ, sometimes the games I talk about are just the games that I find fun, that I think are worth a video. I mean, every game I talk about has to be worth a video, but it's just something I want to talk about. And this game kind of fit the bill. That's about it for this one. Again, standard Danerade video. Nothing too crazy going on. So without further ado, that was Bowser's Fury. I was wrong. All right, next video is the Calculator Wars on Nintendo Switch. Now, midway little rant here. I hope you're enjoying this. If you've listened this far, let me say I appreciate you listening this far into this video / podcast / editor commentary. When I was listening to the one last year, I did not know how to speak without a script. I also recorded where I usually record. This time I did not, because so I can be in a more comfortable environment. Even though the audio sounds a little I think it'll fit the bill. But yeah, I hope this is something you enjoy being able to listen to. Anyways, Calculator Wars on Nintendo Switch. This idea, I think, had come from a Game Explained video where they were covering Battle Calculator. Oh my gosh, look at this game. Look at this crazy calculator game. And I knew there was a calculator, or it might have been on just the calculator app, or was it Nintendo Life? Oh, Christ. Okay, some channel made a video on one of the calculator applications, games, or whatever. And I was like, that's fun. Now, what prompted me to actually make it, actually do it, dude, I don't know, let's make a video on the Calculator Wars on Nintendo Switch. I don't know. But Battle Calculator was so random and cool that I don't know, sometimes I just do things that are crazy and wacky, you know? You know, and this video specifically, if you wanted to get in the deep dive of Danerade lingo, if Bowser's Fury was a, you know, typical Danerade video, this video was what we call the trying to be funny video. And you also have the opposite spectrum of that, where you have videos that are more like analytical based. But this one was more to be funny, which, is it funny? Yeah. You know, there's some things that could be improved, like the voice delivery, but I don't know. I just think the concept is funny. It just kind of like elevates it enough, in my opinion. This video did well, by the way. This is like further proof that the YouTube algorithm is the most unpredictable thing possible. Like, this video could have literally received like 5K views, and I would not be surprised. It could have pulled a Calvinistic Doctrine in gaming. We'll get to that. And I would not be surprised. But as of this recording, and I think it stopped at around like 80K views, this video is at 116K, which is a lot of that's a lot of calculator information being processed into people's brains, which is fun. So there's that. But generally, like, Battle Calculator, like, honestly, like, when I played it, 'cause obviously I had to play it with someone for the video, it was fun. Like, Battle Calculator is a fun game for no reason. Is it a nerd game? Yes, but a fun nerd game nonetheless. Wasted a lot of money on this video, I can tell you that, buying all the freaking Sayback. Oh boy, Sayback. Okay, reminder, that is the company that was the mastermind behind the calculator application, but they also made like, which I talked about, like Night Vision, which just uses the Joy-Cons' IR camera, which is like 64p. It's literally awful. And they just apply like a night vision filter, dude. It's just like, it's like shovelware, but like so bad it's good. Does that make sense? I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm happy this exists. Like, this is such a weird concept, but as a part of my channel, like, I'm really happy it's a thing. So that is the Calculator Wars on Nintendo Switch. Alright, so the next video is celebrating half a decade of Danerade. This was in response to the charity stream I mentioned just earlier, where it had, I wanted to set like, you know, like a fundraising goal, and I wanted to give like an incentive. So the incentive for if we raised, I think it was $250, that I would make a plushie video. I raised $900. Oops, okay. So I was stuck making a plushie video, which really sucked, but I did it in the most Danerade way possible. So I made it was like a half step. It was kind of like, thanks guys for sticking around, for making me a better person, and you know, letting me be able to pursue this awesome hobby and all that jazz. That was the first half. The second half was the plushie video part, which was bad, but that was the point. I kind of did like an authentic thing where I kind of just had like no script, because like in the original plushie videos, I would just take the plushies, like the characters or whatever, and I would just kind of make up the storyline as we go. That's what I did for this video, and I think like that was a good choice, because it just made it feel so authentic for all the wrong reasons. I mean, I don't know, it was like the intro was like a little, or not like the, oh, speaking of the intro, actually, let me get on to that. The intro was also great, done by Sherbet Knight. It was a reference to the, what is it called? Looney Tunes show intro, and all that jazz. That was great. I love that intro. That's fantastic. But the actual like intro, as in like first half before the plushie video part, is a little mushy, maybe for people's liking. I don't know. No one really like complained about it, but it was just me being like, oh my gosh, guys, like, I'm so thankful, which is great. It's great and all Danerade, but you know, I know people want to watch the plushie video. Now there's two other funny things with this video. Number one, on the top right, it has the Made with Kindmaster logo, And I purposely say on the, it has it on the top right because, spoiler alert, I did not make this in KineMaster. A lot of people were convinced I did. Nope. Actually, this is funny because KineMaster had actually changed their watermark at this time, and I had to like recreate it somewhat, which is why if you like look, it looks a little weird. But I recreated it the best I could, and I thought I did an all right job at that. But so that's one. Number two is that this is when I announced Danerade month. Oh boy, are we gonna get into that. All right, next video is the Minecraft Dungeons. Confucius would be confused. I don't know what I was thinking with that subtitle. I just want to say, I hope you don't think we're going too fast. There's a lot of videos to go through. I'm probably gonna go a little more in-depth next year when I only have a year's worth of videos to go through. But I got 2 years, so I gotta figure this out, all right, this video. Actually, let's talk about Danerade month. So Danerade month was an initiative where I would upload 1 video a week. Yeah, no, it didn't work out so well. I think if I did 4, and it's also just the video topics. Like I was planning to do more like pre-plan, like like do some more work ahead of time, but I just like somehow that didn't happen. I don't know. I don't remember why. I don't think it was because I was lazy. I just got busy, but I was still dedicated, determined to do it. But I'll probably talk about that on the last video of Danerade month. But yeah, this video, not too much to talk about. It's a little long. It's about 18 minutes. It just kind of is a little beefy video. This video is a little interesting because even to this day, I mean, I haven't seen like much content or coverage of Minecraft Dungeons, and I can see why. I mean, it's just like for being the official, like, I don't want to say sequel, but like follow up to Minecraft, it's just nah, like, it's just kind of weird. It's kind of weird. There's just a lot of missed potential, like the Minecraft brand is so massive and expansive, and they didn't really do it justice, which is, I mean, I don't know. It seems like Mojang, like, I don't even know how people say with Minecraft, they upload or update things so freaking slowly, which is great. The only other thing to like kind of talk about or mention is that there was a Super Smash Brothers montage in here where I like played as Steve and I had some like funny bits. Some people didn't like this because it was very out of place. That's fair, but I like it because it's out of place. Like that is like kind of the point. It was just to add some spice, some jazz to the video. I mean, again, is it necessary? Does it make things super cohesive? No, not really. But I don't know. I liked it. But generally, I mean, I think this video holds up well. Like my points and criticism are pretty warranted for the most part. And we'll get onto this. But yeah, just Danerade month, like too ambitious. Just like the video topics themselves. I mean, this one, we got a little beefy video. I got some help with getting multiplayer. Had a friend play with me for a bit. I don't know. Minecraft Dungeons. Confucius would be confused. All right, next up is the Deltarune experience. That is the title of the video. This video is hands down the most unnecessary Danerade video like that exists. Like it is so like why? It's not bad. Like I think it holds up perfectly fine. I think it was just because I was excited about chapter 2. Let's face it, everyone was excited about chapter 2. Like people were just very hyped for it, to be able to play it and all that stuff. So I think that was what it was. I wasn't trying to like, I mean, clearly catching the hype train didn't work because this video didn't do that well. That was probably because everyone and their mother was uploading Deltarune content, and mine just kind of got like buried in the sea of chapter 2 footage and like streams or whatever. Intro was pretty good though. I didn't really have an idea of what I wanted to do for the intro. It's got the like the Undertale dog kind of messing around saying some stuff, like we got like the Undertale text box come up. I don't know, I thought it was fun to include that. It's different. I mean, that's kind of the goal with a lot of the intros, is to have them different and fun. Fun is a key word. This one also had a pretty rushed development. A lot of these videos, well, I don't want to say, this one's definitely like rushed in a different way. Not that all my videos are rushed really, but I had to play the games like Undertale chapters 1 and 2 in like what, 2-3 days? I don't know, just because like Danerade month, upload once a week, because that's a really good idea. But seriously, like, even though it is cliche to be like, oh my gosh, Undertale and Deltarune are such good video games, it really goes to show like Toby's commitment and just creativity and how he creates his games, because I mean his games are really good. Like they're fun, they're funny, the mechanics are deep, like the story, right? I mean it's kind of one of the games where like it's really one of the only games recently that has like caught people's attention like from a story like lore perspective that isn't really indie horror. Does that make sense? Like FNaF, Poppy, what am I missing? Bendy, like they all kind of have their hidden spooky lore, but this game like kind of just tells like a cohesive story and has a lot of secrets in it. Like I don't know, I just think Toby's a freaking genius, you know? There were parts in the video that were I described as filmed in front of a Discord audience. That was fun. Those were I wish I did more of those. Like I know a lot, you know, like the kind of, it wasn't necessarily like a live stream, but you know, more of the funny moments from like a playthrough or a stream. I wish I had more of those. There's that. I also think the ending was kind of funny. As a reminder, the ending was kind of a fake out where I described the jiweh. Spoiler, by the way, like freaking 3 years after it came out, or four, is it 4 years? I don't know. After Deltarune Chapter 1 came out. But the secret boss, jiweh, I like talk about him at the end of the video. As a little like, oh, here's a little bonus content. That was fun. But yeah, so this video, like, it doesn't really need to exist. If I never made it, like, I don't think I'd be like, oh man, really missed out on that one. But it's fine. It's fine. And you know, I mean, I like his games. Like I wasn't like, oh man, I feel so obligated to make a Deltarune video. I don't know. So that was that's the Deltarune experience. So the next video to talk about is why Monopoly proves Ubisoft is underwhelming. I love this video. This is a sequel video to the other Monopoly montage, and this is just it, but better. Dude, the edits are so funny. I would honestly recommend you go back and watch this video if you have not already. You know, I tried giving it more of a premise to make it not bomb in the algorithm, which it still did. It bombed less, slightly. You know, like the whole like explaining that like Ubisoft is kind of stupid, that they can't figure out a Monopoly game, which is true. I just want to point that out, that there's a lot of truth in that. I mean, Monopoly on the Nintendo Switch is so sad. Like the online just freaking like soft locks so often, so annoying. But other than that, I mean, this video is just my friends and I just messing around, just having fun. It's basically just like a stream of highlights, you know, like showing off highlights of goofy moments. I just had like a lot of editing. Most kind of stream highlights are just, we'll show the footage, and the footage is funny enough. No. I did the Danerade way, and I went above and beyond and had a lot of goofy edits. But it's fun. Like I just like, I like making it as fun as possible, especially in video formats like this. I don't know. I don't. Some videos are just more self-explanatory than others. Like, yep, this video was fun to make. It was funny. I don't know. I thank you to my friends for being patient. You know, some, you know, like in the before recording, it's like gotta make sure everyone's audio is good and all that stuff. Figure all that out. But I don't know. Other than that, this is a fun video that I would highly recommend you check out. I might make a third one, like a final, make it a trilogy. I don't know. I'll have to talk with both Eli and Marshall about that, which were the two friends involved in it. But yeah, pretty fun video. I wish I made more videos like this, honestly. Obviously, I'm more like, I don't want to use the word trendy, but like more games that people might care about instead of like Monopoly, you know. stuff like that. You know, like just get in a Discord call, boot up a game, and just have a fun time. I think that'd be fun. Do you want to see that in 2023? If you've listened this far in and you're willing to comment that, I appreciate that. So anyways, that is why Monopoly proves Ubisoft is underwhelming. Okay, so the next video is analyzing the best and worst Jackbox games. Now this video has quite a bit to talk about. Okay, this video like killed Danerade month because we're still on that, by the way, because recording all that footage for all the Jackbox games in such a short amount of time is such an undertaking that I did a very bad job at pre-planning that. I have learned my lesson. So there's that. This intro was kind of whatever. I didn't explain it in the Monopoly video. The Monopoly video, actually, I like the Monopoly video intro. It was a Family Feud, except when Richard Dawson hosted it, and it was like it's like a sex joke, which is kind of like, whoa there, Danerade, I know. But it was like another one of those. But it was almost like mockery, like, you know, we're just gonna do the same thing. You know, I don't know. It fit the bill, I guess. This is actually the first thumbnail drawn, and this is how I found current, present-day Danerade artist Derpyroot, which is super exciting. I don't remember. I don't know. It just all kind of happened. They didn't. I just kind of had them draw this thumbnail because I wanted all the characters, similar art style, and with Viddy and I. We'll get to that in the frame and all that jazz. But that was fun. Got to work on that, and obviously they become a prominent part of future Danerade productions. Anyway, speaking of Viddy, this is my collab with fellow YouTuber Viddy's Vids, who is a super close and good friend of mine. Hi, Viddy, if you're listening to this. This is actually kind of interesting because collabs are kind of weird in my opinion because I don't like most collabs. Okay, I don't know. I like this collab because it's good. You've noticed most of the time if I do have YouTubers, it's more like cameos than full-on collabs, you know, because like collabs, I don't know, it just doesn't really flow very well. This video flows well though, so go me. This video is a little funny because this had actually been in the production for like over a year. This was supposed to be a review of Plants vs. Zombies 2 because on Viddy's channel, he was doing a PvZ 2 tier list, and I was like, well, he did a tier list on PvZ 1, and he can do a tier list on PvZ 2, and I like review games, so why don't I just review PvZ 2? Nope, didn't want to open that can of worms, and I just didn't want to do that. So I did not do that, and he had made a Jackbox video, and I was like, why don't I just do that? You know, he did like a ranking every Jackbox game. You know, I just did the best and worst, but it was a little more, you know, I went a little more in-depth than he did, so I felt it was justified. But yeah, this was supposed to be actually a PvZ 2 review video. Oh, by the way, his PvZ 2 video, his, tier list is very good, is way better than anything I could make, because, well, he took a really long time on it, but it made it great. So I'm in it, obviously, and, you know, having a content creator have me appear in it is great. So I appreciate that, Viddy. Thank you very much. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Viddy can just deliver lines better than me. Definitely like elevated this video because he added like a different level of comedic timing to it all, which is great. Other than that, the ending was pretty funny. It was like a fake out thing. All right, so we're still in the midst of Danerade month. Remember that. And this was video 4 of 5, and we had one more left. And I wanted to do a little fake out. So there was like flashing games across the screen. Like, could it be this? Could it be this? Could it be this? And then I don't reveal it because I knew what it was, and it was going to be very stupid, which we're going to talk about. But I don't know, it was fun. It was fun. But overall, this video, I have fond memories making this video, coordinating with Viddy. Just a fun time, like writing it, going back and forth. I mean, he contributed ideas. I contributed ideas to his video, and he did with mine as well. Overall, And this one holds up quite a bit, for sure. I mean, I know we're kind of getting closer to 2022, you know, like good video territory. But this one's pretty good. So that is analyzing the best and worst Jackbox games. Oh boy, the next video is my friend Peppa Pig, Putin's Game of the Year. That was a bad subtitle. This was interesting because I think, take it with a grain of salt, and I have no sources to back this up with because I'm the only source. I think this is supposed to be a Halloween video because, you know, remember, Danerade month, October. And did I want to do a Help Wanted review, FNaF Help Wanted? I don't know. That didn't happen, and I kind of wanted to troll people, and I also wanted a really easy video to finish Danerade month. So, my friend Peppa Pig it is. Yeah, this is definitely a joke pick. A funny joke pick, which is weird because in retro... So, at the time, I thought this video was like garbage, and I felt kind of bad uploading it. Watching it in retrospect, this video is kind of funny. I remember, like, dude, I made this video in, like, record time, like, recording, writing, audio, like, editing. Like, I made it pretty quickly, which makes sense. What is it, like, 6-7 minutes long? And, you know, it's not going too in-depth on the analysis or anything, right? It was interesting going for my friend Peppa Pig. Didn't do so hot, which is fine from a performance standpoint, but I don't really blame people. There was an interesting joke in this one. There was a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire joke where it was like, you know, what would you prefer? You know, like in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you can like ask the audience and it'll tell you the percentage, like 76% chose A or something like that. I found a clip where the audience, it was like 100%, you know, 000. For some reason, this was at a time when like I watched a lot of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Don't ask, it was like a weird like 3-week period. I always preferred the British version, and I don't know why. Like the British version, this is the only thing you get, you freaking British. The British version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was way better than the American version, and I do not remember why. But it made an appearance in the video, so I guess it matters. The only other funny thing is in the ending, I had little, you know, end credits, which by the way, that basically means this video is actually like 6 minutes long. It's like the last minute was like just credits. And like at the end, it says, quote, "This failed project is the result of," I think it was like the Danerade Corporation. I don't know. That was some little funny humor to poke at the oopsies I made in planning Danerade month. So there's that. But yeah, I don't know. My friend Peppa Pig, it's a video. It's kind of funny. If you want to watch it, go ahead. And that is my friend Peppa Pig, Putin's Game of the Year. Again, really bad subtitle. Next video to talk about is a Joy-Con Drift Christmas. Oh boy, this was a big project. Time to put your big boy pants on, Danerade, and talk about this big video. This was a big project that had a lot of elements I never touched or really tried to experiment with, one of which being live action, which, you know, I was trying to figure out how that is, which is why the first 5 minutes looks like garbage. There was some interesting, like, things to try to figure out with that. For example, when you can't, when the viewer cannot see your face, you have to obscure it, but instead of being stupid and blurring it, we had some, like, fun ways of masking that. For example, I think there's 2 scenes in particular where I would be in the process of sitting down. So like the camera person, which was one of my friends. Well, I mean, I usually filmed if I wasn't in the scene, but obviously I was in the scene. They would have to like perfectly match my movements and like squat down so they could match me sitting down, so my face wouldn't be seen. Fun stuff like that. Little you know, technical, trying to like figure out how I would like visually be able to get away with not showing my face, which I honestly think I did a pretty good job. This intro was wonderfully done by Sherbet Knight. Dude, talking for this long is rough. Done by Sherbet Knight again. It is sung to Joy to the World, I remember, and I love it. you know, with the pencil style. I'm trying to think. I think it was based off something, but I can't remember. Like the sketchy. Oh, shoot. It's based off of the intro to Mickey's Christmas Carol, like the 22-minute. They call it a short, but the full length TV, you know, 22-minute TV special. Which is a really good version of A Christmas Carol, by the way. I would highly recommend it, and I don't really say that because I think most versions of A Christmas Carol are garbage, but that one's really good. So the intro was great. Overall, like the camera work and all that fun stuff. Didn't really know what I was doing. Definitely a lot of things to learn, and the camera I ended up buying has really bad low light, so a lot of, you know, certain scenes, which is a reason we filmed outside. Actually, that's half a lie. We filmed outside a lot because we didn't really have a space to film inside, but also because there was a lot of light outside, so there's that. Filming the Joy-Cons themselves really sucked. I would just for hours at a time just film Joy-Cons at different angles, and it was rough. It just got so, like, boring, you know? I don't know. I mean, since I had so many Joy-Cons, it was just, I don't know, it was mentally draining. Like, you wouldn't think it'd be mentally draining, but it was mentally draining. Filming issues-wise, oh boy, was there a lot of them. Obviously, schedules and conflict. We were making this in a time crunch. I made this after finals, and finals is really close to Christmas, and that, yeah, I mean, obviously I had it all written and stuff, but, you know, like filming, I would like film, I filmed a lot of scenes out of order because I would like film a day, at night I would edit it, and then the next day we would film, and then I would go home and edit, repeat for like 7 days straight. So there was that. We also had, there was the scene at the park with the Joy-Con Consumer Conference, and unsurprisingly, there was a lot of distractions at the park, whether it be like the UPS truck going by. There would be like some kids, and we were, you know, too nice to kick them away, so we had to like wait for them to like play, and it was very awkward. Honestly, we should have just been like, hey, we're filming a school project, and we need to like, I don't know, that I'm considerate of the kiddies, okay? I really do appreciate my friends for being patient throughout the whole process. I mean, they really saved it, as in, like, I don't know, like, no matter what the circumstance was, whether we have to redo a scene or wait for, like, a car to go by, you know, they were patient throughout it. The song was fine. I don't know, it was the first step. Actually, which, if you look closely in the credits, it was actually made by Tyler, who appeared in the video itself. He is really good at music, but he was using he was using some music creation software. He had never really used it before, and it was, you know, it was pretty basic beat and stuff. But it was fun. There's a lot to learn though. Like, this video, in a nutshell, was just learning a lot from it. I'm sorry, I'm getting so tired from talking for so long. I hope like my voice isn't like slowly dying right now. But I just learned a lot from the whole experience. You know, whether it be the camera work or the song, or even like filming outside. I mean, oh boy, not like that final scene where we're like in downtown with all the restaurants and stuff. Oh, that was awful, because like a lot of cars, motorcycles, people walking. I mean, that like 1 minute and a half took like 3 hours to film. That was bad. That was rough. But one of the only, it's like a half saving grace, is that the ending was very wholesome. It had Danerade, me, acquiring a Galaxy Joy-Cons, which was alluded to and referenced earlier in the video. And I'm really happy with the ending. It's a little like not perfect in my eyes, because for some reason I like missed a scene to film. I kind of like awkwardly take the Joy-Cons out and then like awkwardly like walk away. And there was like a scene in there that was supposed to like be more natural, so that, I don't know, like how I held things was just like really stiff looking. But the actual message, I mean, it's cute, it's wholesome. I like it. I mean, this video is it's fun, it's cozy, you know, not every Christmas special needs to be like, and I'm talking about like in general, like television too. Not every Christmas special needs to be a masterpiece, but as long as it's cozy and fun, I mean, that's all that matters really, right? So that was a brief, I do mean brief, a brief dissection into the making of a Joy-Con Drift Christmas. Alright, so we have officially entered into 2022 territory. This is, we still got a lot of videos to talk about. Alright, reviewing every game in the Wii series. This video is not that good. No. Alright, I'll tell you why. Actually, there's a couple good things. Number one, the editing is much faster and looser, and this was like a, I guess, purposeful decision slash transition of mine, and I think the editing is good. I'm cool with the editing. What I'm not cool with is this like fantastic idea I had where I was like, well, okay, so there's what, like 10 Wii games I review or something like that. I was coming off the coattails of the Joy-Con Drift Christmas video, where, as a reminder, and I just mentioned earlier, I had a song in it where I sang about Joy-Cons, and I went, oh, well, I did such a good job then, well, I'm just gonna double down, and in transition to each, what do you call it, each game, I'm just gonna sing again. No, why I thought of that, I don't know. It's extremely cringe, like it's honestly something like 2020 Danerade would have done. And then I also chose like classical music, dude, I don't know. It's bad. It's bad. It's just bad all around. Okay, I don't want to talk about the singing. But anyways, this game, or this video was also a little, every video is a little, I feel like I've been saying this a lot. Every video is a little funny in a way. So I took January off and I was working on some stuff. And then when I was like, all right, time to work on the new, the Wii video, I realized like, oh, I'm playing 10 games like that. That's great. So this came out in what, like late February? So it actually been like 2 months since I had uploaded. Again, oopsies on my part. But it is kind of interesting because even though I don't really like this video in retrospect, it is interesting, except the editing. The editing is good. It is interesting to look back and see that even in just like the course of a year, because I just made this, as of recording this, 10 months ago. 10 months ago, I made this video. And it is shocking for me to be able to say that, like, I feel like so much has changed, at least how I think about videos. Honestly, 2022, I refined the writing a lot. And I think that'll show in a couple of the videos we're going to talk about here pretty soon. Yeah, I don't know. As long as you're going in the upward trend, that's how I like to think about it, that you're evolving your style. And you admit from your mistakes. I mean, when I realized the singing thing was like awful, I was like, oh, that's not good. We're not gonna do that again. I don't know, just for any aspiring content creators out there who's listening to this Danerade editor commentary, just own up to your mistake. I don't know. I honestly just try and do bold things. I mean, you should do that because you shouldn't try to stay stale and just do what is safe and you'll think what'll work. Sometimes it'll work out, and sometimes it won't, and that's okay. The only other thing I can think of with this video specifically is some people were trying to be really stupid and criticize how I did the exercises. Incorrect, I did them fantastically. If you notice, in the video, on the Wii balance board, I literally had perfect balance. Not many people could say that. Stinking young genes, alright? So, all you people, you know, the people saying that, probably in their mom's basement and they don't touch grass. I'm just saying. So that was reviewing every game in the Wii series, plus Nintendo Switch. I didn't even talk about that. Real quick, that was super annoying. Right when I finished, was it the script or the audio? It was one of those two. It just announced Nintendo Switch Sports. I'm like, well, I gotta mention Nintendo Switch Sports. I actually own it and I've played it. It's fine. It's not like crazy. It's whatever. Anyways, next video. All right, so the next video we're gonna talk about is playing Terraria for the first time in 2022. I kind of backed myself in a corner making this video because I made a poll about a game I should talk about, which I don't really do that. I haven't done it since, and Terraria 1, and Terraria is, you know, it's a long game, or there's a lot to understand. So the production was much longer. I do want to say, intro was great, done once again by Sherbet Knight. It is a homage to House of Mouse again. That's the third instance of House of Mouse, you know, House of Dane. But it makes sense. It's like, you know, me being the host and everyone's, you know, watching the day. Honestly, I like this intro. I wish maybe in the future, if I do this, I can incorporate like the House of Dane iconography. There's a word of the day. More into videos, or maybe even in the branding that I haven't figured out if I want to do that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just recording this editor commentary. Anyways, but yeah, production was much longer, which again, good job, Dane. Now, it wasn't too awful because I was like playing this game much before this video came out, so it's not like, oh, I had to play Terraria in like 5 days. No. I played it. The play sessions were much stretched out, which is good. Now, problem being, first of all, shout out to Shy Guy Mask for dealing with my tomfoolery. I had school and I have a lot of obligations, so some days a Shy Guy Mask could be like, "Is today the day we're gonna play?" And I'm like, no, because either I'm doing something or I'm sorry, like sometimes I'm just tired. Like, and it's not even like a lazy thing. This will probably be a discussion I go into maybe later in this video, but sometimes you just like, this sounds really depressing, like collapse of exhaustion. You know what I mean? Like, that makes sense. Anyways, but even disregarding that, I do a lot of other things. So he was very patient, or actually sometimes he was. I'm sorry. Honestly, I don't blame you. But yeah, so he walked me through this video, or playing the game, and gave me an understanding. Look, I mean, I honestly like that. Okay, for the people saying I should have played Terraria for 200 hours, it's really stupid, by the way. Like, I should not have to play. I should really get the gist of your game. What did I end up playing? 20, 30 hours or something? You could argue I should have played maybe a bit more, but I don't know. It's just so much for a newcomer to play this game. So it's definitely something I wish I grew up with. I wish I like grew up with the updates. I figured out what to do when I was younger, just so that, I mean, honestly, I've thought about it. Like, if someone plays Minecraft for the first time, that's probably like a lot of like information that they have to process. But because everyone's like played Minecraft before, they don't really have to like think. I mean, even me, like, I was playing new Minecraft recently. I call it new Minecraft. It's like, I think the last update I remember playing was like 1.13 or 12, and I'm like, whoa, what cave? It was all this cave stuff. Like, felt like a complete noob again. But I really like this video, and the fact that I think it's a fun, unique perspective doing, playing something for the first time, giving it an honest review. Terraria is one of those games where it's just like not. I mean, it's not really reviewed, which is fine. It's not, it's kind of just stood the test of time. I like this video. I like to make videos, and this goes for all my videos. If you ask me each video, I could except the Deltarune one. I could probably tell you a good reason why I made it. This one, I feel like, has a really good place. There was a gap. I felt as though this was a unique topic that could bring something new to the table to discuss, and I really like this video for that reason. And that's about it. Again, if you're listening to this Shy Guy Mask, thank you, but no thank you for you trolling me. That was so cheeky of you. All right, so next video is the art of short supply. Oh, this video's funny. Yeah, so this video is kind of like a running joke with some of my friends, YouTube or not YouTube. Basically, if a video, even if it underperforms, at least it did better than the art of short supply. This video did not do well, which is fine. I mean, okay, this video is weird. I say that, I've been saying the same things. I either say this video is funny or this video is weird. This video is weird because a lot of people, when it first came out, said, dang, this video is pretty good. This video is not that good. Look, it's just like, It's such a whatever video. Now, I think the concept is fantastic. I really like the concept. This is actually a combination between an idea I had way back in 2020. I have an idea. I actually have a Google Doc. I might have mentioned it in last time's. I can't say last year's. The last time I did an editor commentary where I have a Google Doc of like ideas and dates. I've been using the same one since 2020, but I just kind of add and remove stuff from the ideas list. I had an idea to make a video on the NES Classic. It was gonna be probably uploaded on the day it came out, in like a 5 years or 6 years later, or whatever year I ended up releasing it on. Anyways, didn't really want to do that because I mean, what, you're reviewing the NES Classic? Like that's kind of weird. Now, what people remember the NES Classic for is how Nintendo, like claimed hostage to it in a supply standpoint. And I was like, what if I make a video about that, talking about like video games and how, there's certain companies or situations and how they've been, holding back supply, likely to increase demand. So I think the concept is great. I just think the execution was very blah. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, if people like it, that's good. I won't be. I'd like to make. I'm actually working on a video something like this. Hopefully it'll be better than this, and it'll do better. Now, why did it do better? I mean, I don't know. It's just a niche. Thumbnail could have been better. I mean, title maybe. I've noticed. I feel like if you put the word art in the title of a thumbnail, just like automatically doesn't do well, which is fine. I hate talking about like performance, but it's just a shame that. Now this one I don't really like care that it did that bad because like, I mean I think the video is kind of eh. But, it is, no creator wants to see something they put their time and effort into and it not reach the audience it should. Sometimes it's the creator's fault, whether it be title or thumbnail. Sometimes it's just freaking YouTube algorithm, all that fun stuff. But, yeah, I don't know. This video is just, I keep saying the same thing, but it's fine. It's fine. Maybe in 2023 I'll make more of these types of videos, but, like, good. I don't know. You know what? Maybe you should watch the video yourself if you haven't already and give your own judgment, and maybe we can get the view count from 30K to 31K. Wouldn't that be great? All right, next video is Kirby's Forgotten Wii U outing. This intro is very fun. I'm not gonna say it's my absolute favorite, but it was done by my friend Yegston, who did the art of all the characters. I was just kind of like, I want to do this. I want to do the, make everyone stretch and stuff. Oh yeah, as a reminder, it's got like I think it was like Zelda music I used, and I like stretched the characters, like playing trumpets and stuff. It's cool. It's cool. It's fun. Now the funny thing with this video, which again I've said that a billion times, I have no idea how I came up with this video idea. I don't know. Like, I'm not even like, I don't consider myself like a big Kirby fan. I played Triple Deluxe on the 3DS. I played the free, the one they ported to Switch, the Kirby Battle Royale, and that, and this game now, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. So. I don't know. I mean, I think it's an interesting topic though, just because it is kind of part of that. Like, this game is part of that weird game lineup for the Wii U, where it's like a Wii U exclusive, but it hasn't been ported to Switch and probably won't be ported to Switch. But it's also not like super memorable. Like, no one's like, oh man, port Kirby and the Rainbow Curse to Switch, guys. Like, no one's really demanding that. But I don't know. I mean, this was the only thing I can remember is, maybe I do remember why I made. I mean, I know Kirby and the Forgotten Land had just come out, but even then, I mean, I don't know how I went from that to, if anything, I would have reviewed that game, but nope, we're going for Kirby and the Rainbow Curse apparently. But this is, I got to boot up my Wii U. That's great. Got to dust that off. Now, something fantastic about the script in this video is I said, quote, I don't really play Kirby games for the plot. that was a really stupid statement. I had no idea about. For anyone that does not know who was in a similar boat to me, apparently Kirby has like deep lore that I was unaware of, and the comment sections were quick to point that out, which is fair. I mean, call my bluff. I'm not. We aren't perfect, okay? No one really was like stupid about it. No one was like, "Oh, you stupid swine! I can't believe this video is a 0 out of 10." They were just kind of like, it's funny. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. And all that stuff. The jokes in this video are oddly funny. It's just kind of a surprise after coming from the Terraria video was fine, but the Wii video and the Art of Short Supply weren't like that funny. I mean, this one, what I can remember, 2 jokes specifically, that should tell you something, because, you know, I can remember certain jokes. One was the, I say I remember them. Okay, one was a Mickey Mouse Works reference, where it was like, I love it when Mickey Mouse kicks literal ass, and it's like him, like, kicking the bad guy of the short. And the second one was like, I don't know, it was just like a cutaway thing, but like I played like a clip with like Kirby and his gun. But it was like funny how I edited it. But yeah, props to me. And the last kind of notable thing in this video is this was the introduction of the Twitter plugin. Oh no! This is when he goes to the dark side. Yeah. So now attention to detail here. If you have been closely watching, the Discord plugins use the purple-ish looking boss transition from Paper Mario the Origami King. The Twitter plugin uses the regular transition when you go into a regular battle, which is blue, because, like, you know, Twitter is blue, and you know, it fits, okay? I promise. So yeah, we got a Twitter plugin. Still haven't really, like, honestly, if you're listening to this, just go, if you want to, you can go follow it. I just want a cool number by my name so I can contact YouTuber. I mean, I literally said that in this video, like, one of the main I made it for 2 reasons. So if my channel freaking, like, dies, or, you know, like, strike or whatever, I can contact YouTube support. And B, just so I can, like, contact other creators. I mean, Twitter's kind of the place to do that. So yeah, I mean, not too much about the video itself. I mean, it's fun. Like, I'm happy this video exists. You know, 2022, the first half is like not my I don't know. It's kind of a whatever period, in my opinion. I mean, this video is fine, but it's not. I don't know. None of these videos were super earth-shattered, which is fine. I mean, they don't all have to be, but this was kind of a weird whatever period. But we're about to get out of it, starting with our next video, which no transition, puppy playtime video. Okay, so let's get started with that. The intro to this one is Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. It is the Bowser boss battle. It has, like, Bowser talking and stuff. Dude, and this intro is funny. So it has him talking. He's like, you know, I can talk about puppy playtime no matter if other people talk about it. And then, you know, there's like a transition with, like, gameplay and quick cuts. It's cool. It's cool. There's actually a fun little detail on that. What I ended up doing is, because obviously I would not go through the effort to, like, edit the game because, you know, with, like, the text box and stuff, that would be very foolish of me and my time. So I went and, like, made edits to make it look like the text box, or, you know, made it look like it's coming from the game. But to seal the deal, I actually, like, exported the intro at, like, 480p, so it made the text look more organic. Because, you know, if I, like, exported it raw at 1080p, you know, the footage would be SD, standard definition, and then the text would be rendered in HD, which that would look bad. Look at me, thinking about all the little details. But so that's fun. Now, I'm actually really happy I made this video. This is not something I regret. I know it is indie horror and all that fun jazz, but this is, I think I might have said this in the video. I'm 100% truthful when I say I had zero clue what the frick this game was about. I had watched, like, I just heard all the controversy of, like, you know, the shady history of mob games or whatever. But I like no idea what the actual game was about, and I just kind of wanted to talk about it. And I did, and I'm happy I did because I thought I brought on a unique, you know, my Danerade charm and analytical way of talking about things, I guess. I had an interesting monologue in this video that, not that it was like controversial, but it was arguably one of my best written pieces in the video, is talking about the quote fun of a game, where I described that maybe we should not judge games solely by raw gameplay, but rather what it brings to the table. So I get this is still a good example. In the video I mentioned FNaF Help Wanted's like repair mini games. Like technically they're super basic. I mean, you like Bonnie's is like you put in the eye, you do like you tune his guitar and like that's it. Or you open his faceplates too. But it's how slow things are, it's how big he is. Like, you know, like the fear drives your adrenaline and drives the experience. So, you know, going into this, I thought maybe, like, you know, even though it might be a little slow in execution, you know, there could be some cool stuff that could happen in this game. Which it kind of did. I mean, you got some chase sequences. I mean, Chapter 2 is more fleshed out. Look, I mean, the game looks great. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is a impressive looking game for the little team that they have going on. But I thought that was an interesting, like, idea to bring to the table. You know, how should we judge games? Should it just solely, or I at least think it shouldn't solely be based off of gameplay. And, you know, obviously it gets a little complicated. This is also why I do not do like categories are really stupid. So some people will go, time to talk about the story and give it a score, and time to talk about this and give it a score. If you do that, I love you, but that is stupid. Because okay, Plants vs. Zombies as an example, what am I supposed to give it, like a 2 in the story category? I still think it's an amazing game, but what, it doesn't have a deep story. Okay, everything else it excels at pretty well. There's a couple of parts in this video that have some background behind them. Number one is I made a Poland joke where I talked about, I think I was talking about how much, oh shoot, it was with numbers. I forgot exactly why I was referring to it. Maybe it was like how scary, I don't know. But there's a Poland joke in here. I talked about like the results of like Poland's election, and I like broke down the numbers. I'm like, there you go, that's the percentage or whatever, something like that. The reason that is because I have a mod in my Discord server. He has no life. That's a lie. Maybe he does. I don't know. But anyways, he's Polish, and he challenged me to make like a Polish joke in a video. I'm like, oh, because I'm like, oh, I could easily do that. He's like, okay, do it. So I did, and a lot of people like thought it was kind of random and funny. So one point for Danerade. There was another part, and there's a Matt Pat section where I got, well, I fooled some people. I got like the AI where he's just like, you know, hello, it is me, Matt Pat, and I'm going to explain to you blah blah blah. There was a couple people in the comments that legitimately thought I got Matt Pat the voice in the video, which that was funny to read. That would be great if that actually happened, but no, that's not happening. So that was funny. That scene was not fun to edit though, because he has such like a, I don't want to call it weird, but it's very technical editing style. And it was not, I was like trying to recreate it, and it was not, I mean, I thought I did an okay job. I think it's funny. I think it's one of the best parts of the video. But the only other thing I'll mention, and this doesn't really have to do with the video itself, more of the game, that it is a shame, like, because people said, okay, this is chapter 2. There's, or we don't know how many chapters. There's gonna be more chapters, plural. Okay, we don't know what's gonna happen, and you should wait it out. And that's true. Like I'm curious where the direction of this game is gonna go toward. But then they released Project Playtime, and that kind of ruined. I'm just sad it ruined their like reputation, man. Like, it's buggy. It was just in execution. It was flawed. It's like, why'd you? First of all, why would you? I don't know why they would make a game like that. Because now they have their battle pass. They have to maintain server. Like, I think they're biting too much than then they can chew. Which is a huge shame. So I'm pretty disappointed about that. I have not played Project Playtime, by the way, so cannot attest. I don't know. I honestly don't know if they've done any bug fixes or any. I'm assuming they have. But I just hate that we've seen this trend. I know everyone's talked about it. And I will not talk about it. Make a video on it. But you know, it's like indie horror or just games in general. Actually, it's like they just people feel, or companies feel pressure to release it at a certain time, which. It's just a bad business model. I really hope we grow out of this kind of rough, ugly stage of gaming in that aspect. Okay, so the childhood game you all forgot, Poptropica. A great video idea, by the way. Poptropica is a classic. I've been wanting to make a video on Poptropica for a while. Now, we're talking about technical terms when it comes to Danerade videos. The technical term for this video will be what we call a holdover video, where it's a little easier to produce, even though it was like, 20 minutes, so easier is relative. It's easier in a couple ways, and I'm going to explain that. And because the next video after this was the FNaF security breach video, which we are going to get to that, but that is a huge project, and I needed a lot of time to work on that. And so the easy part in making this video is I kind of went like, most of the video is kind of explaining an island, and because I go in chronological order, writing it is obviously easy, but editing it is even easier because you can just, you don't really have to cut around in the footage. You have one big block of footage, and, you know, you can just kind of like progressively cut it up as you progress in the island. You just progress with the footage you have. Like, it's just easier to edit. That's my point. It's nothing too complex, but this is also another good example of, even though I took a while to make it, you know, I have a lot of ideas, and sometimes they don't come into fruition into videos for a while. But this was definitely one of those games where I went like, oh yeah, I remember that exists, and then I just write it down, you know, because it's just it just randomly pops in my mind. I go, oh, boom, video right there. I want to replay that. Yeah, Poptropica is a childhood classic. I got a little fun. I actually made this myself because of the frickin' 3 different aspect ratios I was working with. I actually designed the borders. You know, I had a border for everything, so I just wasn't in the mood for black bars this video, I guess. But I made the background and the border, which I think it looks pretty nice. Looks pretty slick. As for Poptropica itself, it didn't hold up as much as I wished it did. I mean, again, child flash game, right? You know, it's just kind of the same though, if you ask me, I think playing a lot of islands at once is not the smartest thing, because, I mean, the gameplay loop is pretty repetitive. So there's that. But, dude, I wish Poptropica could get, like, a comeback. I mean, for a while, like, it seemed like everyone knew what Poptropica was. And they kind of tried to branch out and do their own thing. Like, I know that they released a couple DS. I think there's a 3DS game. And it's still going strong, but I'm going to put strong in quotes. You know, they're, like, releasing new islands, but apparently they're, like, god-awful. And who knows who's working on those things? Like, there's no way the original team that worked on most of the original Poptropica islands are working on that. Only other thing to think about is, so again, it was good. This is good timing for this video, because they released, you know, the Steam bundle or whatever. Anyways, I decided to DM their Twitter, and I was like, you know, I asked them a couple questions, and I don't even think I asked for a review copy. I just wanted to know a couple questions, because they hadn't even released a release date. No response. Thanks, guys. Even though this video got 150k views, that free advertisement for you guys. Oh boy. Thanks, guys. Anyways, it's no big deal. I just like it's. I mean, I get it. It's like technically a corporation or whatever. I don't know. I was just a little disappointed. See, this is why. Like, I hate using the word like big number next to name, but that's just the current state of how things work, because I can't. The verification doesn't even mean anything on Twitter because you can just buy it. So it's not even like, you know, if I pestered and cried and prayed really hard that Twitter would give me the verification so I look a little more legit. You just kind of have to have a big presence on Twitter, which sucks, by the way, because I don't say anything. But that's just kind of the sad reality. Okay, no more Twitter talk. That was Poptropica. Pretty cool. Happy this video exists. And we're going to move swiftly into FNaF security breach. So, an overly long analysis of FNaF security breach. This video is by far probably my best video I've ever made. Now, this one had a 6-month development cycle. It took the whole 6 months to make it. Now, obviously, it's not me working on it every day. The script was written in those like 5 months. Because I really like the script is what was gonna be like the main driving force for this video. The analysis in the title was gonna be the big thing. And this game is just like one of those you really have to just like, first of all, I had a crazy, like I said to some friends, I had so many notes for this video, like it was like paragraphs long. I mean, obviously it was bullet points, but it was crazy long. I split it up between the different recordings I had, and whether it be like gameplay, story, visual / sound design. Like, I just had so much that I wanted to pack into this video, and I think I did a really good job. I'm happy that I did not, like, the key was to not rush this script. It had to be written slowly, meticulously. Like, just the words, smooth, just like, are so smooth. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Everything just flows off. Like, when I say flow off the page, I just mean like, as in, you know, when I read it out loud, and the when you watch it, and how the points flow from one another, it just works. Just works. And I don't think I've ever been like, I mean, I'm happy with all my videos to a certain extent, but like this video as a constructive criticism piece is so good. Like, I just think it's so good. It took a while, don't get me wrong. Obviously, I mean, editing, this was over the summer, so I was able to get it out in a timely fashion, but editing must have taken like a week and a half, but that's also like full speed ahead week and a half, right? You know, getting a solid 5 minutes in every day, which if you think about it, I mean, that's, or something like that. Depended on how complex the scene was. Like, obviously the intro took longer than something in the middle of the video. But, no, I mean, I got a lot done each day. So it was definitely a mental slog, but I was, like, so motivated to work on this video, which probably stated, like, I just was so excited to rip this video, because no offense to every other review on this game. I get it that certain reviews, like, they don't have to be in-depth, they're there for a reason to be quick and concise, but every review did not scratch the itch that I was looking for. Like, people were missing the mechanical reasons for why this game is bad. It's more than it's glitchy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's more to it than that. I think I expertly explained that in this video. Now, you know, talking about the video itself, the intro is great. I think it is, as a reminder, it's kind of like a montage of like a timeline of events of people going like, oh my gosh, this game looks so good, and then people play the game and it's not good. But anyways, I thought it just I basically told you the entire video before you even watched the video. Like, there was some subtle, I don't think symbolism is the right word, but like that was a subtle design choice to get you introduced to the topic and kind of where I was headed my opinion and stuff like that. But also another thing with kind of the presentation of the video itself, the FNaF 3 transitions were great. I basically recreated it one for one, and I know the names of each title might be a little weird. Now the first one is Contemplation of the Imagination. Did that because it rhymed. I mean, you can kind of make it whatever you want to think. Scary on the Contrary. Obviously, that's referring to... These are the chapter names or titles, by the way. I don't know if I cleared that up. Scary on the Contrary. I mean, I also think it's pretty self-explanatory. It's like, you know, like, the game's not scary. It's kind of building up to the actual thing. This one that everyone got. What a gift to relish a victim that can't perish. This is a reference to Nightmare Freddy's voice line in UCN, except in UCN, he actually says a victim that can't perish. So, in this case, you know, I edited the audio, right? There's a little like glitch effect, so I cut the T and can't to make a can. The next one, this one people did not understand. I actually can't pronounce it. It's chirophilonosophobia. I don't know. Editor Dane, can you play Google saying the correct pronunciation for that word?
Chirophilonosophobia.
Thank you, Editor Dane. Anyways, but that is the fear of I think it's cartoon characters, which, I mean, I think that one makes sense when I tell you that. I always come back is also super, you know, that should make a lot of sense. Well, it also like made sense because obviously a lot of that was like the story section, and a lot of that had to do with like Springtrap and Afton coming back because he's stupid. The final thing. All right, the final one, I also can't pronounce this word. I'm going to do the same thing. Google, say it for me, please.
Flochenausenililification.
Thank you. So it was that word. Okay, so like blank was my final calculation. That word is a synonym for like unnecessary or useless. So again, like it's kind of like, yeah, this game has like no reason being like, it doesn't really add anything. MatPat actually really said it really well in one of his videos. Like, what was the point of the video? Or what was the point of the game? Like, we don't really have an idea. And obviously, he's talking about that from a story perspective, but you can also argue that from a gameplay perspective. I mean, it's so whatever. Like, there's just not like a lot new to the table. I mean, you have like the daycare section and the endos in the basement, but like that's like the only that's only really the only positive sections that people bring up. So anyways, that was an explanation of the chapter titles. But overall, I'm really annoyed how people in the FNaF community like they just can't accept that this game. And you know what? If you like this game somehow and you can find join it, like, fine, whatever. But I feel like too many people. I remember I was watching again. It was one of MatPat's live streams. I think he did like a, you know, because this game's story is absolute dog doo-doo. He was talking about, you know, we got some content creators together and they were like bouncing ideas off each other. One question was like, let's talk about how the game is itself. You know, Daco's going up there like, I like FNaF Security Breach. And then, like, MatPat's head editor, I think Dan, is like, oh, I think it's god-awful. And I'm like, yes! Oh, I love this man. But I was just annoyed. And obviously there was, like, I mean, a lot of the reviews were negative. But a lot of the reviews were coming from, like, FNaF YouTubers going, like, it's buggy and all this stuff. But, like, dude, like, FNAF's in 3D now? Like, this is crazy. No. Like, and look, there are a lot of technical... like marvels, and there's a lot of impressive stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to devalue all the work of the developers. I am 100% confident there were internal development issues that plagued this game, but someone needed to step up. Someone was me that just needed to like put their foot down and say, no, this game did not deliver. It did not execute on what it was supposed to be. The final product was different from what it was what it was looking to be. Like, I don't want to say they were like falsely advertising or not a Hello Neighbor 2 moment, Stay tuned for that video later this year. I say this year because I don't know when. Hopefully soon-ish, so I don't make promises for new videos when they're gonna come out exactly. But yeah, I just annoyed, and I think it's fair to be annoyed. Like, and this is another reason why, even though like the whole indie horror thing back to back was kind of bad timing, the gap was there. There's a huge gap in someone needing to talk about this game, and I felt I brought a new fresh take on why this game is bad. All right, only other thing about the video itself, because we haven't really talked about any fun tidbits with the video. People got mad. Should I say it? I don't know. People got mad I said bitch, which is funny. Now, I actually don't curse in real life, like ever, or you know, IRL, whatever you want to say. Now, because I think like cursing, I don't know, like the whole cursing and like it being funny, it's so overdone. Like, it's just honestly not funny. Now, what's funny in this case is the fact that it was kind of like a reversal, and that like I don't curse like ever, and just how, because of the you know, I called Roxy like, you know, that it was just like such like a came out of nowhere, like what the heck Danerade. So I like that joke. That was funny. I know some people, I mean, a lot of people liked it, but some people were like, whoa, Danerade, what's going on? Like, calm down. Like, I'm a big boy. I can say whatever I want. All right, that was long, just like the title of the video that would illustrate. But yeah, that was an overly long analysis of FNaF security breach. The next video is Disney's weird mobile experiment, Where's My Water? Okay, this video baffles me because it did super well. Like, I'm not talking like good. We're talking like better than the FNaF security. As of recording this video, it has just slightly under 800,000 views, which is bonkers, by the way. I did not expect this. I was like, I don't know, like, would it do well? Like, I don't know. I mean, there's some videos where it's like the FNaF one. You're like, yeah, I'm really happy the FNaF one did well, by the way. It reached a large audience, and I put a lot of effort into that video. But then freaking the Where's My Water video comes along. It's like, no, I'm just gonna do better than the FNaF security breach video. Again, I don't know if it was riding off the coattails of the FNaF security breach. I don't know. I mean, I'm happy it did well. I mean, this is definitely like an S tier video idea, in my opinion, just because I mean, except for maybe like easy peasy like speed running Where's My Water, I think he did that like a while back, but like other than that, and that wasn't even the inspiration for this video. I actually don't, I just kind of popped in my head. I think just thinking about like old mobile games I used to play. It's like, oh, I used to play Where's My Water, and then yeah, I just made a video on it. I'm happy it did well though, because it's a solid video. Like, this is a kind of solid, the kind of typical Danerade video. Like, it's not like a big production like the FNaF security breach video. It's just a solid video all around. You know, 14 minutes of good Danerade quality quality content. Okay, now only problem with 800,000 people watching this video is I like teased in my Discord server. I was like, guys, I'm gonna bring the plushies back, and everyone's like, oh my god, he's bringing the plushies back. This is crazy. Yeah, guess 800,000 people. Oh boy, that's great. Because it was supposed, you know, it's like a funny reference to the good old days. You know, it was a quick little thing, and definitely, probably close to 800,000 people have watched it, because, you know, it's the very intro of the video, the first thing that people are gonna see. So, oops. But there's that. This was kind of like the Poptropica video, except I didn't make it this time. I got a border and a background for this because it's a portrait orientation, because it's a, you know, mobile game, and I did not want black bars. That would have been rough. I'm really happy how that came out. You know, with the pipes in the background and the kind of brick pattern for the border. It looks very appealing to look at, and it's not too distracting. Like, the colors are kind of, I don't want to say muted, but they're calm enough to where you can really just focus on, you know, watching the gameplay and the different edits and all that stuff. So that's good. I made another oopsies. We want to talk about oopsies, you know, with the play. It's not really an oopsies. It's just like, oh shoot, a lot of people, way more people saw this than I was anticipating. There was a joke where I like crushed Swampy with my feet. Now, look, I don't think sometimes. Okay, I'm only human. I can't think of all the little things, the internet. Okay, basically people started going, oh my gosh, Danerade showed his feet. Oh my gosh. Yeah, probably should have worn socks for that joke. But I didn't, and now there will not be a Danerade OnlyFans. Oopsies. So there's that. A final little fun fact. Speaking of the intro with the plushies, that was not fun to film, and I guess outro because I like reference it back. I'm like, hey, where's Bowser? And like Bowser's floating in the water. I don't know why I didn't like. Okay, so I have a gimbal, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically just like a camera stabilizer. So instead of like, I don't know, taking like, I was so insistent on using the gimbal to make the footage. To make it smooth, so like my camera's not shaking, even though I could have just like held the camera in one hand and well, sometimes I was holding the plush, it depended. No, I decided to hold the gimbal. So like basically my point being, like my whole camera setup, I was in the pool like the whole time filming that, because a lot of those scenes, I mean, those were like really close to the water. I like have to be in the pool. So my camera was like, I don't know, 2-3 inches away from the water at all times. If like probably two. Yeah, that was a little scary to film that. But it was worth it because, you know, I thought it was like a fun callback, like the intro and outro though, where like Bowser's kind of floating in the water. I thought that was fun. So that was the Where's My Water video. And the next video on the chopping block is, quote, the Dark Souls of SpongeBob plug and plays. Now, fun fact, I had an argument with fellow YouTuber Terror, who has, actually he appears in this video. Does he appear in this video? I'm 90% sure. Maybe I'm not so sure. No, he just appears as a cameo. I forgot he filmed something in a different video. But anyway, so we had an argument. And he's like, so this was like right when the video came out, so like an hour afterwards, so like I didn't know how I was gonna do. He said, that's a stupid title. Now, you could go either way on that one, because, you know, now, I like it, because I think it's funny. It's kind of like, oh, like, what is this super hard SpongeBob plug and play? And, you know, the double quotes in the title gives it a certain level of irony and sarcasm, but... so we had an argument about that. Now, joke's on him, Tara, if you're listening to this, which I know you are. The video did well, which is also stupid. Now, not as well as the Where's My Water video, but this video also did well. I don't know if I, like, accidentally tapped on some, like, untouched, like, nostalgia or something, but I just got so many comments going. I had that SpongeBob, people just talking about This is great, man. I love accidentally just finding these gold mines of people like genuinely being interested and being reminded of certain things that they grew up with. So anyways, that was kind of a funny argument. And then, like, you know, the video ended up doing really well, and I DM'd him about it, and, you know, haha. All right, actual video itself. So, mechanically speaking, or structurally, this video is a little weird because I don't actually talk about the SpongeBob plug, and specifically like the hard game in the SpongeBob plug and play for that long. Problem being is that when scripting it, I realized that you can't, like, the games are just so ungodly simple that it's kind of hard to, you know, I didn't want to like milk it out. Does that make sense? Like, I just didn't want to like talk about, like, go through like each individual level. Like, you know, you get the point after some time. So, you know, I kind of talk about like the Pac-Man plug and play and like the other like generic Nicktoons plug and plays I had. But there's that. Now, when recording the actual plug and plays, they look pretty meh. Not much I can do on that because they all look really fuzzy. Though a little weird thing, for some reason when I was recording the Pac-Man one specifically, like a little bit of the left side got cut off. I don't know how that happened. It shouldn't. I don't know. Oopsies on my end. So yeah, the footage looks bad. Though it is saved by, again, we once again had another border because I was just riding off the coattails of the Where's My Water bit. I'm like, we're gonna have another border. This can be great. Yeah, I'm happy I made this video. This was fun to make for sure. Definitely a super nostalgic trip, dude. I freaking grew up with my Game Boy Advance and my plug and plays. Those were my bread and butter. Those were my peak gaming as a child for me. Only other thing I can think of is, I made a couple jokes about like the little Spongebob dances, and I tried recreating them in real life. Even though like it was weird how that was because there wasn't anyone like in the room. I did it in an open area. I think my dad was in the office, and I still just felt really awkward doing it. Like it's just so awkward and stupid that it's almost hard for yourself to push yourself to do it. But I did it for you guys. You're welcome. But I don't know. Not much to say on this one. That was the Dark Souls of SpongeBob plug and plays. Ooh. All right, we're getting pretty close to the finish line here. More of the best and worst licensed kids games. If you're still listening to this, we talked about the first video probably an hour and a half ago, or something like that. Hour and a half ago now. This is obviously a sequel video. Pretty sure you could have figured that one out. Now, in tradition, similar to the first video, this video also got demonetized. Now, the first video, as a reminder, got demonetized for the little Aladdin bit in the intro. This video got demonetized. I did not actually think this video was going to be demonetized. Apparently, the Looney Tunes intro music is worth demonetization, which that's really stupid. But yeah. Video itself, I mean, I always wanted to do a sequel. This is definitely something that warrants sequel making, just because there's a lot of games to be able to talk about. And even right after I made the first one, I mean, I had DuckTales and Aladdin. Those were the two that I kind of had like mentally picked out. Like those are definitely gonna be the two I talk about next time. I did make an oopsies with the DuckTales. I totally misspelled it. I did DuckTales, Tails. That's what happens when you edit at 2 a.m. sometimes, boys and girls. Yeah, the brain does not automatically process things correctly. But I don't know. So speaking about DuckTales and Aladdin specifically, I had not played a lot of we're talking about like vintage 80s and 90s platformers, and that was kind of an interesting experience because I think Aladdin especially was a bit of a wake-up call. Like, yep, these games were hard. Aladdin specifically is pretty rough. Though as I said in the video, I mean it's aged well in some aspects. Visually looks great. I mean, gameplay, it is pretty hard. Definitely some things are unfair and the controls can be a little finicky. But there's definitely some fun to be derived from, especially if you're like me, that's a big fan of the movie. Now, I actually was planning on talking about the SNES version of Aladdin, and I did mention it right at the end. And I did play it. I played the entire thing, and it was much easier. But I just didn't have time. I didn't want like half the video to seem like it was Aladdin based. But I'm still happy I played it, just so I had like a mental frame of reference of what the other version was, and at least to be able to acknowledge it, to say like, yep, I played it, it exists, I know, do not comment about it. Stuff like that. Anyways, I'm sorry, it was not this video, or it was not the SpongeBob video. This was the section I had Terror do the Discord plugin. Now this one was funny because I hadn't done a Discord. It's been a while since I'd done a Discord plugin. I specifically had my Discord instruct me to do a Discord plugin. Their words, not mine. So like last minute, and when I say last minute, I mean like usually obviously I want to have some courtesy and give people a heads up if they're gonna if I want them included in something. So like, I don't know, 3 days before or 4 days, whenever I was editing the video, I was like, hey Tara, can you record a bit for me? And they did. And they did a fantastic job, and it's really funny, and I'm really happy they did that. So thanks for doing that. Only other thing, which this is actually kind of something you would have never have thought of if you've been a long-time viewer, but in the Wii Play video, I mentioned I didn't have a nunchuck, and the 2 Wii games I played required one. So I was gonna play them. I think I was gonna play them in like a Discord call, and I booted up, and the game goes, uh-oh, no nunchuck plugged in, and I go, uh-oh, that's come to bite back. So I called up a friend, and I was like, can you drop off a nunchuck? And they did, and it's still at my house, and they likely forgot, and I will maybe not, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Will I return? It's a nunchuck. They don't even play the Wii anymore. If you're listening, guy, I'm sorry. I kind of stole your nunchuck. Oopsie. All right, the final video to talk about today is Calvinistic Doctrine in Gaming. Only the elect get saved. Oh boy. This, if I made a prediction, I'm gonna say this is gonna be the longest. This is gonna be the longest video I talk about. Now, I want to make something clear. This video is extremely flawed, 100%. This is an extremely flawed video, and I'm going to explain why. But this is without a doubt probably my favorite flawed piece of media I've ever created, without a doubt. Because even though it's not perfect, for what it is, and how, because I'm gonna backpedal back. We're gonna go back in time to a Joy-Con Drift Christmas, and I got a lot of comments saying, this seems very Scott the Woz-like, which, by the way, if you're one of those commenters, just stop. Like, it's not even just for me. Like, I don't really care. I don't really get those comments. But just stop. Look, because there's like this new automatic assumption where if you talk about Nintendo games and you happen to have funny live action bits, boom, Scott the Woz right there. Now, that didn't necessarily bother me in and of itself, but I thought, you know what? What if I take, it's not really criticism, but I wanted, like, I have like an ideology when making these videos. This is going to be a really weird reference. I'm just going to tell you what my thought process is. Now, speaking of FNaF, Scott Cawthon did an interview with Dawko, and he talked about some of the design process behind his games, and he talked about taking criticism and feedback from his games and, really honing in on a certain aspect into the next game he made. So in this aspect, knowing the comments I received, I thought, I'm gonna make something so ballsy, so bold, so crazy of an idea that no one would bother actually executing it. Now, that obviously happened. And the reason, there's a couple reasons why this video is flawed. Number one, the topic itself is just super limiting, right? Obviously it's not very marketable. Now how bad it did, I'm still gonna blame YouTube to a certain extent, but it's flawed for sure, because it is. This, without a doubt, this video was probably the hardest thing I've ever written in my life, 100%, because not only did I really have to grasp the idea of Calvinist. Dude, I'm a Calvinist expert, okay, but and relating it back to the games and stuff. And having like the Calvinism connections and flow of things, that was tough, right? Figuring out the games and trying really hard to explain it in simple terms and remind people about like, hey, this is an idea in Calvinism. This is how it connects back. Now, the second reason this video is flawed is because this video, from a writing style, was actually kind of rushed, and I'm sorry. This video was made in record time in about 3 weeks because I wanted to work on a lot of this video ahead of time. However, I could not. I just got so busy, but I still wanted to make it happen. So when I talk about 3 weeks, that is an all full speed ahead 3 weeks. Like, I'm pretty confident I worked on this every day of that 3 weeks. I had a couple bullet points, and I like loosely started writing the script before, but I didn't have much done. So I was writing the script. I wrote. I went out of town for a tournament I had. I wrote it in the car. Foco appeared in the video. Literally contacted him about it. Was talking to him live on Discord while I was at the tournament, out of state. I was going full speed ahead on this. Now, what was interesting is, unlike last year where the filming was behind, the script was running behind because it was just hard. I wanted to make it funny, and I was trying to make things cohesively flow, which we're gonna get to that. And for that reason, I had to really finish things up. And if I had another week, just had one more week, which sounds like a lot for the script, but for something like this, that's still not a lot of time. I had one more week to work on this video. I think it could have been a 10 out of 10. It could have been, well, actually, that's not true. Calvinism, some people aren't gonna like that, or right off the bat. But yeah, so the script was rushed to a certain extent, and that is why, because the biggest problem with this video is the flow. It does not flow well. And I own up to it. I will 100% own up to it. That's why this is a very flawed piece of media. It's not perfect, okay? Do I think it's very funny? Yes. I think this is super funny. Now, that there's also flaws in that, but I'll get to that. There was a lot of conscious creative choices I had to make that were really hard to come to an agreement on. One of them being, obviously, we have politics being a main driving force for both the story and the humor. So how serious do you go? Because if you go too silly, because the idea is I wanted to add some stakes to it, which is why the reason why it didn't flow well is because I had those intermission CNN bits. And the reason I wanted to do that is because I wanted to try to create stakes and make it so that there seemed to be an actual race, an actual tight race happening. So I had to make a conscious decision of how serious I wanted to make it. And depending on how you took the video, you might have took it as, haha, this is a funny video where Danerade runs for the Senate and he's doing, wacky shenanigans. Or you might have taken it as Dane runs for the Senate. They're talking about actual politics stuff. Well, kind of actual. It's it's based off of real stuff, but it's not the policy position. I make jokes about it. Some people aren't really into that stuff. And again, there's a lot of thin ice territory with this video that I kind of automatically had to admit to even before starting. Even if this is a 10 out of 10 ballpark, writing was amazing. I think the editing was actually really good. The actual production value was super stepped up from A Joy Conjures Christmas, because I learned a lot from recording the live action bits on that video. Even if it was a 10 out of 10 in literally every aspect, it's still limiting in some ways, which you might be saying, then why'd you even make this video? Look, I think I think creators should be able to not only take risks, but even just make videos for themselves. This is my friends and I having a blast, okay? They contributed to some of the ideas that went into this video, and, I had fun making it, even though it was a very small and super, the crunch was real. It was still fun making this video. I probably wouldn't have been able to edit this in time if it weren't for the fact that it's just fun to have my friends in it and come up with the visual, talking about all the games and Calvinism, and I don't know, I just found it fun. So there's a lot to learn, right? And if we go back to what I talked about in the beginning about learning and taking criticism into the next video, there's definitely a couple things I want to do for the next video. One is obviously make things flow much better. That is going to be a high priority. It's gonna flow so well, super well for no reason. It's gonna be great. There's that. I obviously want to make the topic more, which I mean, Calvinism, politics, I mean, this is all a one-time thing. Like, no matter if this video did well or not, this is definitely going to be a one-time thing. I wish it did better so I can, like, reference it and be like, haha, like, I'm the current U.S. Senator, or, you know, I'm a self-devoted Calvinist or something. But because no one watched the video, I feel like if I make references to that, no one's going to get what I'm talking about. So, you know, make it flow better and give it a, I hate using the word marketable, but just more appealing topic. Like, and a lot of people said that, oh, like, well, like, you know, the title and thumbnail are to blame. Thumbnail, sure. Thumbnail could have probably been better. There's a lot going on. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But again, like, how do you make a thumbnail for a video like this? The title, I didn't want to, like, lie. Like, this is not a video that I even, like, expect or maybe even want to do well. Like, oh boy, imagine 800,000 people watching me run for the US Senate and Calvinism and sing about politics and stuff like that, right? But this is not like a video meant to do well. So some people were like, well, what if you said like religion in video games or whatever? I'm like, well, that's not really the case. It's, you know, Calvinism specifically. So, you know, there's stuff like that. Again, it all has to go back to the theme, the idea of the video being flawed at its core. If you like the video, I'm really happy. I really hope you like the video. Now, if you don't like the video, then I only make like one of these a year, so just move on, I guess. But again, I really hope that like creators take risks like this and just do things for themselves, you know? That it's okay. It's okay that this video did bad. It's fine. Honestly, 2023, or, oh, I'm sorry, 2022, we are in 2023 currently. 2022, especially the second half of the year, was great. Not only did I feel like I had some awesome videos, FNaF Security Breach, Where's My Water, but a lot of them did exceedingly well. So having one video perform pretty badly, I'm fine with that. And I mentioned before, I do somewhat blame the YouTube algorithm. I got a couple comments saying like, I could barely find this video. I'm like, oh great, YouTube's freaking burying this and all the way down so no one can find it. So I do blame YouTube to a certain extent. But I hope you understand, like, listening to this, not only was this production cycle a little hell, though it was really fun. It was a fun kind of hell. There's a lot of thought. There's a lot of thought put into this. And even if it's not perfect, even if you're not, the politics might be a little sensitive, which, I mean, I thought I did a pretty good job on that. I'm not trying to push an agenda. The only thing I'm really worried about that is if you don't, especially if you don't live in the US, it might not, because, I mean, there are some certain, like, references that even people in the US may not get, but there are some, like, basic ideas. Like, if you have a really basic idea of the two political sides, then you should be able to get most of the jokes of, like, you know, what they stand for and some of the hypocrisy on both sides, you know? You know, people should be able to understand that. Now, if you live overseas, then that's a problem. So, again, I hope you liked the video. If you did not, I respect your opinion. But now, the only other thing I want to talk about is the logo. I really like the logo for this video. There's actually a lot of small details in it. There's two that I'll point out that I can think of off the top of my head. Now, number one is, I'll put it on the screen, obviously, but I'll describe it. You know, the main centerpiece has a controller with a flower that's bleeding out of it. Now, the actual, like, bleeding of the flower, that's actually based off of a real thing. I don't know if it's, like, actually called a blood flower. I don't know. That is based off of a real thing. Now, the flower, it's actually technically not a flower, I'm going to tell you. It's actually a tulip. And tulip is the acronym for the 5 ideas of Calvinism, like, you know, total depravity, unconditional election. Like, dude, don't you love I just know this off the top of my head? It's great. That's actually the acronym. So that's the first thing. The second thing is on the top and bottom, there's like, on the bottom, there are like angel wings by the word gaming. And then on the top, you have, it's kind of hard. Hopefully you're looking at the screen, but it's got kind of cross-ish imagery. Basically, that's actually like the wing and that shape on, I'm just gonna call it a shape. That shape on top is actually a reference to Calvinism's actual, like, symbol. There's not a super high quality photo of it, but I'll put it up on the screen. It's actually referencing their symbol, which has like angel wings involved in it. So I wanted to like incorporate that into it too. So I think as a logo that and working with that was interesting because obviously, my Derpyroot who's done did the logo and has done the art for all of the recent thumbnails. I had to explain to them like, all right, this is Calvinism, and they're like, I don't blame them. So there's a lot of other smaller details. I just wanted to explain the logo one, but for what it is, it's an interesting piece of media. I hope to learn from it. Honestly, I've probably learned the most out of this. This is a video I've learned a lot from. I don't know about the most, but there's a lot to learn from it. Especially since I make so few of these, right? So there's a lot more room for error. So in a nutshell, I mean, a Joy-Con Drift Christmas is probably a lot more like cozy and stuff. Like it kind of like the Joy-Cons and the attachment I have to them is all fun. This video is definitely a lot more like from a production standpoint is a lot better. From a oh god, I'm like a loss for words. I'm sorry. Just in how it's constructed, it looks better. That's my point. The production value, there we go. The production value is much higher. And I want to give a quick shout out to all my friends who were in it, who were very patient with me, and who were listening to me explain this whole video idea. I mean, think about without watching this video, going, okay, Calvinism, U.S. Senate. Only the elect get saved, and I become a Calvinist, and oh boy. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking about Calvinistic doctrine. I think that's enough for that, but I wanted to end this by having a little outro by saying thank you, the end. Just kidding. Thank you for 2022. Thank you for sticking with me. I will admit, 2022 was not my favorite year. It was a little rough. Nothing like super bad personally happened or anything. It was just, I'm currently, and this, with the second half of 2022, junior year of high school, first semester was rough. It's a lot of work. I just do a lot of other things outside of YouTube, and sometimes I just was so physically just tired. And I work on this stuff day in and day night, and I'm just a single man team. And that's fine, right? That's totally fine. But for what it was, I only uploaded 11 videos, which I'm not super proud about. But even with the 11 videos, I felt as though I was able to innovate. That's a pretty big thing in my book. That as long as I felt I progressed as a channel and brought on new ways to be able to view my the methods of, or not the methods, but improving and refining the editing and writing style, and with the fun new video topics and stuff like that, I felt like it was a good evolutionary year. But it was hard. There's just been a lot of stuff I've been having to tackle, and I wish I could have worked more on it, but there's a natural progression. As the videos get better, they take longer to make. That's just kind of a pretty natural thing there. Now, I hope 2023, I think 2023 will be great. Not only do I plan to take the rest, take January, which I've already been working on stuff, really just push through this second semester of junior year of high school, and get through it up to the skin of my teeth, and then summer, and then senior year, I will be much more free because my schedule will be lightened considerably. So I think 2023 will be a good year. So I appreciate you sticking with me. If you've listened this far, round of applause to you, by the way. I really appreciate you listening. I don't know how long this is gonna be. I'm gonna guess we're over 2 hours by this point, which that is a long time to talk. Oh my gosh. But I appreciate you sticking with me. You know, this is still just a side, just a hobby. Well, I mean, it is a job to a certain extent, but I'm still in school. I'm in awe that I have people around me that constantly support me with this, even if I don't get the uploads out in time that I want, or things never seem to go my way. So I just want to say again, thank you. I hope that I can continue doing this for as long as I can, and that that you keep watching, right? Even for the 5,000 people that watch Calvinistic Doctrine, thank you. Like, that's still it didn't do very well, obviously, but the fact that I put something out there and people just still sat through it, and a lot of people ended up liking it. I mean, some people were kind of about it, but there was a handful of people that thought it was an interesting direction, and it was just fun. It was just kind of a fun video, which I hope if you do go back and watch it, just go and it's just take it with a grain of salt. That's all I have to say. All right. So that's all I'm gonna say. I thank you for listening to this editor commentary. I'm gonna leave it off there. Now I will answer one last question that I have received a lot. I thought I'd save the best for last for the true dedicated Danerade viewers. I have received multiple questions about whether I would make a Plants vs. Zombies 3 follow